Joining us now, Strive Asset Management President, former Anheuser-Busch executive, Anson Frericks. Anson, good to see you. What took them so long, and how bad is it going to get?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think things are going to get a lot worse. And one of the reasons is because it's taken so long to make some of these changes.
Right.
I think what's absolutely incredible about this statement that they made, though, is that their CEO, Brendan Whitworth, said these changes were made to ensure the future long-term success of the organization. But there is no future at this company with their current CEO, Brendan Whitworth, in charge. We are almost in month 5 of this controversy, and still their CEO has yet to apologize to the consumers that they called fratty and out of touch, and also to admit that they've made a mistake here. So I think that instead of firing hundreds of people, really they should have just fired one, which is their CEO, and that would be a more sustainable long-term path to get back to future growth at this organization.
And Anson, I think you're right. You have to right this ship. You have to make good with your consumers or former consumers. And how does that happen? Is it going to be shareholders that actually have a revolt and force change within Bud Light, or what's going to move the company to make the right decisions to win their customers back?
Yeah, I think it's shareholders at the end of the day. And it's going to be really interesting. You have next week on August 2nd, on next Thursday, Anheuser-Busch reports their second quarter earnings. This will be the first time that you have shareholders that are actually able to hold the company accountable for these poor results they're having in the United States. We know they're having these poor results because Anheuser-Busch has adopted a model of stakeholder capitalism, which is different from shareholder capitalism, where instead of actually focusing their shareholders, the firefighters, police officers, et cetera, that own this business, they are actually catering to stakeholders. That's what companies like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard want them to do. Cater to activists, cater to political organizations. But next week, the shareholders are going to hold them accountable. You're already seeing billions of dollars of shareholder losses that have happened. But eventually, if this company wants to get back, they're going to have to say, what are we going to do moving forward to focus on shareholders, which is focus on your customers, create great products, services, stay out of political issues with Bud Light, get back to selling beer. That's what people want.
CEO's still worried about offending the few rather than reaching out to the many who used to drink the damn beer.
And that's the problem. This company is just out of touch. It's lost its customer, who that is. That happened with this organization. They moved their sales and marketing organizations from St. Louis, Missouri, the middle of the country, to New York City about 7 years ago. They focus on partnering with a lot of organizations in New York, marketing firms, media firms, et cetera, that give them sort of a one view of the U.S. And that's really out of touch, I think, with where mainstream America is right now, where just with customers just don't want companies getting involved in political issues. Just give them the beer, give them it cold. That's what they want.
Yeah, started killing NASCAR, too. NASCAR moved its headquarters to New York City years ago.
Well, Anson, are you surprised at kind of the depth and longevity of this boycott of Bud Light? Because oftentimes you might see this happen for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But, I mean, we are 5 months into this boycott of the beer, and it seems like people aren't coming back. And I'm kind of surprised at how long-lasting this is.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about how long this is going. So boycotts tend to be successful for 2 reasons. 1, when there are easily substitutable products, and then 2, when consumers, they feel like they're having an impact. And within beer, if it's Bud Light, it's Coors Light, it's Miller Lite, it's water, barley, hops. Most people can't tell the difference between those beers. What really distinguishes them is their brand. And Bud Light was always a brand that was for everybody, sports, music, et cetera, not necessarily in controversies. And so it's very easy for consumers to switch, because everywhere there's a Bud Light, you have Miller Lite, Coors Light, et cetera. And then secondarily, you can't starve consumers of data. Every week, there are sales numbers that are being released that are publicly available that shows the impact of people just switching to that Coors Light, Miller Lite, Yingling, et cetera. So I'm not surprised how long that this has been going on. Again, I'm more surprised that the company has yet to address this head on and move beyond this controversy.
Anson Frericks, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Anson. That was awesome.